Do you believe these trees really exist? From the mysterious dancing pine of Japan, to the giant cactus of the Atacama, to the surreal monkey's fist tree of Southeast Asia, the world holds incredible forms that seem like they belong to another planet. Get ready to discover 15 trees so strange and impressive that they defy imagination. But before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Now let's begin. Number 1. Bottle tree, the enigma of Southeast Asia. In the heart of Southeast Asia's tropical forests grows a tree that seems sculpted by nature's own fantasy. Brachychaton rupestris, popularly known as the bottle tree. Its wide, bulbous trunk rises above the ground like a giant barrel, reminiscent of a closed fist, while branches emerge irregularly, creating a powerful and almost alien silhouette. The trunk, capable of storing large volumes of water, allows the tree to survive long, dry periods, a vital trait in tropical seasonal climates. Its rough gray bark, combined with its rounded shape, gives the bottle tree a surreal appearance, as if it were a living statue sculpted over centuries of adaptation. During flowering, the tree is covered with small, colorful flowers that attract birds, bats, and insect pollinators. Its oddly shaped, resilient fruits serve as food for local wildlife, ensuring seed dispersal and species continuity. The visual impact is striking. The combination of the massive trunk and the chaotically extending branches creates a living sculpture admired by botanists and tourists alike. The bottle tree is not just a visual spectacle. It symbolizes extreme resilience and adaptation. Its presence in the tropical forest is vital for ecosystem balance, offering shelter, food, and shade for multiple species. Moreover, the tree is surrounded by local legends that associate it with forest guardian spirits, reinforcing its almost mythical character. Observing the bottle tree is to witness something that transcends botany. It is seeing nature's infinite creativity, the art of time sculpting impossible forms, and the force of life finding extraordinary solutions even in the most challenging environments. Undoubtedly, it is the queen of strange trees, closing the list of the 15 most incredible trees in the world with unmatched visual and symbolic impact. Number 2. Dragon tree, the wooden dragon of the Canary Islands. On the isolated Canary Islands grows a tree that seems lifted from a fable, Dracæna draco, popularly called the dragon tree. Its short, thick trunk branches into multiple limbs that stretch upward, forming a dense, rounded canopy resembling a dragon's tail or an inverted giant umbrella. When cut, the tree exudes a reddish resin known as dragon's blood, historically used as medicine, dye, and incense. The dragon tree is extremely resilient. It grows slowly, often adding only a few centimeters to its trunk each year, and can live for over 1,000 years, becoming a true living monument. Its deep roots allow it to survive in arid, rocky soils, while its long, rigid leaves protect it from strong winds and excessive evaporation. During flowering, the tree produces clusters of blooms that attract a variety of pollinators, including birds and insects. The contrast between the green canopy and the red resin creates a dramatic, almost supernatural aesthetic. The dragon tree also plays a crucial ecological role, providing shade and shelter for endemic island animals while enriching the soil with fallen leaves and fruits. Beyond its ecological importance, the dragon tree carries strong cultural significance. For the ancient inhabitants of the Canary Islands, it symbolized protection and longevity. Today, in addition to being a famous tourist attraction, it is considered a botanical treasure, admired by botanists, artists, and curious visitors who travel from afar to witness its unique forms. Observing a dragon tree is to feel the force of time and nature condensed in a single tree. Each branch seems to tell centuries of history, resilience, and adaptation, reminding us that life, even in adverse conditions, can create extraordinary forms that defy human imagination. Number 3. Snake blood tree, the strange beauty of Costa Rica. In the lush tropical forests of Costa Rica grows a tree that seems pulled from a fantasy universe, Pseudobombax ellipticum, popularly known as the snake blood tree. Its smooth whitish trunk is covered with bulbous protuberances and irregular branches that resemble entwined serpents, giving the tree an almost alien appearance. When wounded, the Pseudobombax exudes a bright, sticky reddish sap that looks like fresh blood, hence its popular name. This feature is not not only visually striking but also functional. The sap acts as a natural defense against insects and fungi, helping the tree survive in a highly competitive and humid environment. The top of the tree spreads into a sparse canopy, allowing sunlight to penetrate the dense forest, creating a play of light and shadow that transforms the ground into a luminous, vibrant carpet. Large pink flowers bloom at the branch tips, emitting a sweet fragrance that attracts bees, butterflies, and pollinating bats. During flowering, the tree becomes a visual spectacle, appearing like a living sculpture in constant mutation. Beyond its unique appearance, the snakeblood tree plays a crucial ecological role. It provides shelter and food for numerous local species, functioning as a vital meeting point within the forest. Its flowers and fruits sustain the life of birds and small mammals, showing that despite its strange appearance, the tree is fully integrated into the ecosystem. Culturally, the tree is admired for its unusual beauty. Photographers, biologists, and tourists are drawn to the contrast between the pale bark, red sap, and the forest's vibrant greenery. Pseudobombax ellipticum is not just a botanical curiosity, it is a reminder that nature can create forms that seem impossible, blending beauty, function, and mystery into a single living structure. Number 4. Twisted Pine of Japan, the pine that dances with the wind. In Japan, in ancient temples and gardens, grows a tree that defies any standard of symmetry, the Japanese black pine, Pinus thunbergi, often cultivated and shaped into twisted, almost supernatural forms. Over decades, skilled gardeners use pruning and branch tying techniques to create trunks and branches that seem to dance with the wind, forming unexpected curves and silhouettes that defy natural logic. The result is a tree that appears alive and in constant motion, even when completely still. Each twisted trunk tells stories of patience and precision, with branches intertwining at impossible angles, creating shadows reminiscent of brushstrokes on ancient scrolls. This irregular form is not only aesthetic, it helps the pine withstand strong winds and storms, making it more resilient than ordinary trees. In addition to its appearance, the Japanese black pine has long, sturdy, brownish needles adapted to endure different climates. Its seeds feed local birds, while the twisted trunk provides shelter for small mammals. The contrast between trunk rigidity and branch flexibility gives the tree an almost magical character, blending art and nature inseparably. In Japanese culture, these trees symbolize resilience, patience, and longevity, present in temples, Zen gardens, and historical landscapes. Observing a twisted black pine is realizing that nature, even when shaped by human hands, continues to create forms that seem impossible, living sculptures that defy time, wind, and imagination. Number 5. Cajarina tree, the giant of Southeast Asia. In the heart of Southeast Asia's tropical forests grows a tree that seems shaped by divine hands. Cajarina equisetifolia, popularly known as the cajarina tree. Its trunk is tall, slender, and rigid, while its branches spread upwards like sharp spears, giving the tree a simultaneously threatening and majestic appearance. Its almost prehistoric look draws attention. Its thin, needle-like leaves, combined with the impressive height of the trunk, which can exceed 35 meters, give the impression that nature decided to create a living sculpture defying gravity. In the wind, the sound produced by the leaves is metallic, as if the forest itself were whispering ancient, mysterious secrets. The cajarina is also one of the most resilient trees on the planet. Its deep roots allow it to survive in sandy, coastal soils, while its thick sap protects the trunk from insects and pests. Moreover, it plays a crucial role in the local ecosystem, housing birds, insects, and small mammals, and helping prevent soil erosion, especially near beaches and riverbanks. Historically, the cajarina is associated with legends and superstitions. Local cultures believed the tree could ward off evil spirits and protect coastal villages from storms and strong winds. Some indigenous communities still use its dense wood to build boats and tools, taking advantage of its durability and strength. The cajarina tree is a true natural spectacle. Its silhouette against the sky creates an almost alien image, impressing both scholars and adventurers. Observing a row of these trees at sunrise or sunset is to witness the strength, beauty, and strangeness of nature, a reminder that our planet still holds wonders that defy imagination. Number 6. Elephant foot tree, the guardian of the Brazilian Cerrado. In the heart of Brazil's Cerrado, where vegetation is resilient and the sun relentless, grows a tree that looks sculpted by giants. Pachypodium lamare, popularly called the elephant foot tree. Its thick, rounded trunk resembles an elephant's leg and serves as a water reservoir, allowing the plant to survive the long dry periods typical of the region. During the dry season, when other trees lose their leaves, the elephant foot tree maintains its imposing presence, with spiny branches stretching skyward in a defensive posture. Its leaves appear only at the tips of the branches, forming small green clouds that contrast with the gray, rugged trunk. At first glance, it looks like a living sculpture, a masterpiece of evolutionary adaptation. But what truly fascinates about this tree is not just its appearance. It shelters small insects, birds, and even mammals that find refuge and shade in its crevices. Its flowers, when they bloom, are small and discreet, but emit enough fragrance to attract distant pollinators, keeping the cycle of life going even in the harshest environments. The name elephant foot is not only poetic, it reflects the plant's strength and resilience. Its trunk can store enough water to survive years without rain, and its robust structure helps protect it from occasional fires and grazing by native animals. It is a lesson in resilience, showing how nature can create forms that are both beautiful and functioning survival machines. Moreover, the elephant foot tree is an icon of the Cerrado, reminding locals of the importance of preserving this unique biome. Many researchers and ecotourists travel to small reserves to photograph and study these trees, amazed at the combination of strength, resilience, and surreal beauty they offer. Before it, it is impossible not to feel that nature, even under extreme conditions, can create forms that defy human logic. Trunks that seem like works of art and branches that rise like protective hands, always reminding us that life finds a way. Number 7. Candelabra tree, the giant cactus of the Atacama Desert. In the driest desert in the world, Chile's Atacama grows a tree that looks more like a giant candelabra raised by the desert itself. Known as Echinopsis atacamensis, or simply the candelabra cactus, this plant can reach up to 10 meters in height, with long, segmented arms extending in all directions, resembling the candles of an ancient candelabrum. Despite its arid appearance, this cactus tree is a true reservoir of life. Each segment can store enough water to survive years of extreme drought. At night, white flowers bloom at the tips, emitting a sweet fragrance and attracting bats and nocturnal pollinators. It is a silent, almost magical spectacle. In the dark desert, the cacti seem like candelabras illuminating the void with their own symbolic light. The candelabra cactus is not only visually impressive, it is vital for desert survival. Many bird species, reptiles, and small mammals depend on its flowers and fruits for food and shelter. At the same time, it withstands extreme winds, poor soils, and intense heat, showing an adaptability that challenges ordinary plants. Culturally, the cactus holds special significance for local indigenous communities. It is seen as a symbol of resilience and wisdom, a silent giant teaching patience and perseverance. Local legends say these trees are guardians of desert spirits, connecting the earthly and spiritual worlds in a dance of form and light. Seeing an entire field of these cacti rising against the blue sky or sunset is an almost surreal experience. Each plant seems to tell its own story, with trunks and arms intertwining and curving in unique patterns. It is like walking through a gallery of living sculptures, where nature is the supreme artist and the desert is its infinite studio. Number 8. Inverted root tree, the mangrove of the Philippine Islands. Along the intertwined coasts of the Philippine Islands, there exists an ecosystem where nature seems to play with the laws of gravity. There grows the red mangrove, Rhizophora mangle, a tree that defies any traditional concept of trunk and root. Instead of its roots remaining buried in the soil, they project upwards, like pillars supporting the trunk above the salty, muddy water. These aerial roots, known as prop roots, allow the tree to survive in constantly flooded saline areas, giving the mangrove such a surreal appearance that from a distance, it seems like a floating sculpture. The trunk and branches appear to hover on natural pillars, while the green leaves reflect sunlight over dark water channels, creating an almost holographic effect. The red mangrove is not only beautiful, it is essential to the ecosystem. Its roots provide shelter for fish, crustaceans, and migratory birds, functioning as a true natural nursery. They also help reduce coastal erosion and filter water pollutants, showing how the tree's strange beauty serves a vital purpose. Scientifically, this tree is studied for its incredible resilience and adaptability. Mangroves can live in extreme salinity and tidal conditions, and their subterranean roots, hidden from the naked eye, connect in complex underwater underwater networks that nourish the entire local ecosystem. At the same time, the tree displays varied forms. Some roots grow curved, others intertwine, and some even seem to suspend small secondary trunks above the water, as if defying gravity. For local inhabitants, the mangrove is a source of life and an almost sacred entity. Stories abound of forest spirits inhabiting its roots, protecting fishermen and travelers. Walking among these trees, with the wind shaking the leaves and water reflecting the sky, it is impossible not to feel that reality and fantasy merge, and that nature indeed knows no limits to its creativity. Number 9. Snowflake Tree, the Chinese jabuticaba of Yunnan Province. In the misty mountains of Yunnan, China, there is a tree so peculiar that when it blooms, it transforms the entire village into a white sparkling sea. Known as Chionanthus reticeus, or simply the snowflake tree, it seems to defy the human gaze. From afar, it appears covered in freshly fallen snow, even under the warm spring sun. This phenomenon occurs because its white, ribbon-shaped flowers bloom in the thousands, completely covering the branches and trunk. For a few days each year, the ground is blanketed in white, and the air fills with a light, sweet fragrance. It is an almost unreal sight, as if winter and spring meet in a single instant. But what is most impressive about this tree is not just its beauty. It can live over 400 years and reach up to 20 meters in height, with trunks that twist into unusual shapes, as if time has slowly molded them layer by layer. Each specimen seems to have its own personality. Some lean over lakes, others split into double trunks that intertwine as if dancing. In many Chinese villages, the snowflake tree is considered sacred. It is said that couples married under its blossoms will have a prosperous and lasting union, and that fallen petals bring good luck. Buddhist monks use it as a symbol of purity and balance. After all, its flowers remain resilient even in rain and mountain winds. At night, under the moonlight, the spectacle becomes even more mystical. Petals reflect silver light, and the twisted trunk glows softly, almost spiritually. Locals say you can hear the wind whispering through the flowers, as if the tree shares secrets of time. The snowflake tree is a living reminder that nature, even in its most delicate form, can create miracles no skilled artist could reproduce. And in its presence, anyone understands some beauties can only be truly appreciated in silence and contemplation. Number 10. Namib Desert Tree, the ghost acacia of Deadvlei. In the heart of Namibia's desert lies a place that seems to belong to another planet, Deadvlei, a dry valley surrounded by red dunes and a sky so blue it looks painted. Amid this surreal setting stand twisted black figures, trees dead for centuries, yet refusing to vanish. They are the legendary camelthorn acacias, known as the ghost trees of Deadvlei. These trees died over 600 years ago when shifting sand dunes blocked the Sacheb River, preventing water from reaching the valley. Since then, the extreme sun and heat, which can exceed 50 degrees Celsius, have prevented decomposition. The result is a macabre yet fascinating spectacle. Trunks darkened by time remain standing, perfectly preserved, like natural sculptures frozen in time. The sight is hypnotic. The contrast between the cracked white soil, the red dunes, and the black tree silhouettes creates a landscape that seems straight out of a dream. Photographers from around the world travel here to capture the melancholic beauty of a place where death and art intertwine. No sound breaks the silence, only the wind gliding over the dunes and the distant rustle of sand. The camelthorn acacia, Vachellia areoloba, was the only species capable of surviving the desert's aridity. Its deep roots sought water tens of meters underground, and its spiny leaves resisted the relentless heat. Even after death, its hard fibers remain intact, resisting time and turning Deadvlei into a true open-air natural museum. Many call this place the most beautiful cemetery in the world, yet there is also hope there. The trees, even in death, continue to tell a story of resilience. They remind us that life, even when seemingly defeated, can leave marks that span centuries. At sunset, when the acacia's shadows stretch over the red sand, it is impossible not to feel that the desert still breathes, and that these ghostly trees are its eternal guardians. Number 11. Living Root Tree, the bridge that grows in Meghalaya, India. In the state of Meghalaya, northeastern India, the humid forests hold a secret that seems to defy modern engineering. There, the indigenous Khasi people learned to create something extraordinary: living root bridges. These structures are not built from cut wood or iron. They grow literally over decades. The process begins with Ficus elastica, a species of fig tree with incredibly strong and flexible aerial roots. Locals guide these roots over rivers and ravines using bamboo and wooden trunks as supports. Over time, the roots intertwine, thicken, and fuse, forming a natural bridge capable of supporting dozens of people. Some are over 30 meters long and can last up to 500 years, growing stronger over time. These tree bridges are a perfect example of coexistence between humans and nature. Instead of dominating the environment, the Khasi people learned to work alongside it, allowing the trees to grow harmoniously and usefully. When a living bridge reaches full maturity, its appearance is pure magic. Intertwined trunks and roots form natural arches covered with moss, leaves, and tropical flowers. In the mountain mist, they seem straight out of a fairy tale. Most impressive is that these bridges are not only beautiful, they are sustainable and self-sufficient. While human-made structures weaken over time, the living root bridges continue to strengthen, growing with each rainy season. Today, they are recognized by UNESCO as heritage sites of ecological and cultural value, symbols of ancestral wisdom that views nature not as an obstacle, but as an ally. Walking across one of these bridges is an almost spiritual experience. You feel the ground gently pulsate beneath your feet. After all, you are walking on something alive. It is a powerful reminder that when humanity chooses patience and respect, even trees can become architects of eternity. Number 12. Crooked Forest, the enigma of Poland's twisted trees. In the heart of Poland, hidden in a silent forest near the town of Grafino, lies one of the greatest botanical mysteries in the world, the Crooked Forest. There, about 400 pine trees grow with trunks bent at nearly 90-degree angles, all in the same direction, before straightening upward again. The result is a surreal scene. It looks as if a spell bent the trees with precision and deliberation. Planted around 1930, these trees puzzled scientists and visitors for decades. No one knows exactly why they have this shape. Some theories suggest it was the result of human manipulation. Perhaps farmers at the time intentionally bent the trunks to produce curved wood for furniture or boats. But World War II interrupted the work, and the forest was left to grow freely, preserving its bizarre and unique form. Others believe in natural causes, such as snowstorms or genetic deformities, but no explanation has successfully replicated the same curvature pattern in the lab. The fact that all the trees lean northward makes the mystery even more intriguing, fueling even supernatural hypotheses among locals. Many say the forest is an energy portal, a point where nature bends before an invisible force. The Crooked Forest is not large, but its visual impact is impressive. Walking among those bent trunks feels like stepping into a surrealist painting, a place where the laws of biology seem to toy with art. At sunset, the shadows of the trees twist across the ground as if dancing, and the forest silence makes it even more enigmatic. Today, the forest is a protected tourist attraction, visited by curious travelers, photographers, and scientists from around the world. And even with modern technology, the secret of its shape remains hidden among the roots. Perhaps this is the true beauty of the Crooked Forest, reminding us that nature, even when it confuses us, is still the greatest artist of all. Number 13. Baobab tree, the hollow-trunked giant defying time. Amid the arid plains of Africa rises a tree so monumental it seems like a mistake of nature. With trunks exceeding 30 meters in circumference and capable of storing thousands of liters of water, the baobab is one of the oldest and most resilient life forms on the planet. At first glance, it looks as if it were planted upside down, its branches resembling exposed roots, as if the sky were the ground. Scientifically known as Adansonia digitata, this tree defies the traditional concept of aging. Some specimens are estimated to be over 2,000 years old, surviving droughts, fires, and even human activity. Its trunk is so wide that in certain regions of South Africa and Madagascar, baobabs have been transformed into bars, chapels, and even small homes. Curiously, even hollow, they remain alive, sustaining leaves and flowers as if nothing had happened. During the dry season, the baobab loses all its leaves, leaving a skeletal inverted silhouette that earned it the nickname upside down tree. But when it rains, it blossoms with large white buds that emit a strong, sweet fragrance, attracting pollinating bats. Every detail of the baobab is a lesson in survival. Its fibers are used for fabrics and ropes. Its seeds produce nutritious oil, and its pulp is rich in vitamin C, earning it the title African superfood fruit. For many African cultures, the baobab is more than a tree. It is an ancestral spirit. It is said that each one holds the souls of past generations, and touching its trunk is a way to seek wisdom from ancestors. Respect for these giants is so profound that some villages build their communities around a single baobab, as if it were the heart of the community. Imposing, ancient, and mysterious, the baobab is living proof that time, when treated with patience, can transform even the quietest tree into an eternal monument. In its presence, humans feel small, and that is precisely what makes it so fascinating. Number 14. Dragon's Blood Tree, the red fountain of Socotra Islands. In the middle of the Indian Ocean, on the isolated Socotra Islands, one of the strangest and most surreal places on the planet, grows a tree that seems straight out of a fantasy tale. Its thick, twisted trunk supports an umbrella-shaped canopy, with branches extending horizontally as if to shield the desert from the relentless sun. This is Dracaena cinnabari, better known as the Dragon's Blood Tree, and the name is no exaggeration. When its trunk or branches are cut, the tree releases a thick blood-red sap. This resin, called dragon's blood, has been considered magical since ancient times. Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans used it in rituals, medicines, and even as a pigment for paints and varnishes. In the Middle Ages, alchemists believed it possessed mystical properties capable of healing diseases and warding off evil. Today, the substance is still used in cosmetics and natural remedies, although the tree is increasingly rare. The unusual shape of the dragon's blood tree is an adaptation to Socotra's extreme climate. Its leaves grow in dense clusters at the top of the branches, forming a natural umbrella that reduces evaporation and protects the roots from dehydration. From above, it appears as a massive green dome hovering over the desert, casting geometric shadows on the sandy ground. It is a natural architecture so singular that no other plant in the world has a similar structure. But what impresses most those who see it up close is the contrast between the arid environment and the almost alien touch of the tree. Socotra, often called the strangest island in the world, is home to hundreds of unique species, and Dracaena cinnabari is its ultimate symbol. To look at it is to feel that nature, even in its most absolute isolation, remains an unparalleled artist. The dragon's blood tree is not just a botanical wonder, it is a reminder that Earth holds secrets so ancient and mysterious that even today they make us question what is real and what is legendary. Number 15. Blue Bottle Tree, a garden of spirits in the southern US. Imagine walking along a rural road in the heart of the southern United States, where the day's heat mingles with the scent of damp earth and the distant songs of birds. Between weathered wooden fences and cotton fields, you suddenly come across something that seems to defy logic: a tree, or perhaps more accurately, a shrub, covered with dozens, sometimes hundreds, of blue bottles glistening in the sunlight. At first glance, it's almost impossible to believe it isn't a modern art installation, a whimsical creation of some imaginative soul, or an eccentric decoration by a local resident. But as you get closer, you realize there is something deeply rooted in the scene, something that blends history, culture, spirituality, and aesthetic beauty into a single visual and sensory spectacle. This unique tree, popularly known as the bottle tree, carries centuries of tradition and meaning. Its origin traces back to the ancient spiritual practices of West Africa, brought by people who, during the period of the transatlantic slave trade, migrated to the Americas. Among these communities, it was believed that evil spirits and negative energies were real forces active in daily life, capable of influencing health, prosperity, and the well-being of families. To protect themselves, they developed rituals and amulets, including the practice of hanging bottles on trees or posts, aiming to trap these harmful spirits. Each bottle acted as a spiritual containment vessel. During the night, the spirits were trapped inside the glass, and when the first rays of sunlight hit the bottle in the morning, the negative energies were neutralized and released, safeguarding the community. When these traditions arrived in the southern United States, particularly in areas such as Mississippi, South Carolina, Louisiana, and Alabama, they blended with local cultures, giving rise to the form we know today. The physical trees were adapted, but the spiritual concept remained. Today, many bottle trees are made of dry branches, old trunks, or even carefully constructed iron structures to support the bottles. Blue predominates among the chosen colors, as it is considered the most effective hue for repelling evil spirits. However, it is not uncommon to find trees adorned with green, amber, purple, and even clear bottles, creating a kaleidoscope of colors that interact with sunlight in a mesmerizing way. The aesthetic of these trees is captivating. Each bottle, carefully hung, reflects the daylight, producing sparkling glimmers that seem to dance with the wind. When a breeze passes, the bottles vibrate softly, emitting gentle, almost whispering sounds reminiscent of ancient stories and ancestral secrets. For those who approach, the experience is almost magical. The contrast between the translucent glass and the natural green of the branches creates a dreamlike sensation, as if you have entered a space where the physical and spiritual worlds coexist in perfect harmony. But the bottle tree is more than just an aesthetic piece. It is a living expression of cultural resilience and historical memory. During the periods of slavery, these trees served as symbols of protection and hope for African descendant communities, functioning as silent guardians of homes and families. In a context where vulnerability was constant and dangers were numerous, the bottles hanging from the branches represented not only faith, but also a sense of control over invisible forces threatening collective well-being. Each tree became a symbolic sanctuary, a mystical barrier between the outside world and the safety of home. Over time, the bottle tree transcended its purely spiritual role and came to be valued as a form of folk art and aesthetic expression. Gardeners, artisans, and local artists began creating elaborate trees using bottles of different sizes, shapes, and colors, transforming the ancestral tradition into something visually striking. Today, many of these trees are carefully planned, with symmetrical or intentionally chaotic arrangements, each bottle chosen to reflect light and create specific visual effects. It is a combination of tradition, creativity, and spirituality that keeps the essence of the past alive while engaging with the present. The phenomenon of bottle trees is particularly striking at sunset. When the last rays of light pass through the tree canopy and reflect off the bottles, the effect is mesmerizing. The blue of the bottles becomes almost electric, vibrating with intensity, while the long shadows of the branches form complex patterns on the ground. Walking among these trees at this moment feels like participating in a silent ritual, where past and present meet and where each hanging bottle tells a story of faith, resistance, and human imagination. In addition to their spiritual and aesthetic function, these trees also have a social aspect. In small rural communities, bottle trees have become gathering points and cultural references. Families care for them, add new bottles, and preserve the old ones, ensuring the tradition remains alive. Each tree is unique, reflecting the history, creativity, and spirituality of those who maintain it. The practice of creating and tending these trees also fosters a sense of community, connecting generations through tangible symbols of cultural memory. Interestingly, the influence of the bottle tree is not limited to the southern United States. The tradition has inspired contemporary artists, interior designers, and gardeners in other parts of the world. In art exhibitions, it is common to find references to these trees, whether in sculptures, photographs, or temporary installations. The visual and symbolic impact of the hanging bottles captures the imagination of any observer, becoming a bridge across cultures, times, and geographic spaces. The choice of blue glass is not merely aesthetic. Among the originating African peoples, it was believed that the color blue could repel negative energies, symbolizing purity, protection, and elevated spirituality. Applied to bottle trees, this tradition continues but gains a new meaning. Beyond spiritual protection, blue now participates in a visual spectacle, reflecting light, interacting with the wind, and turning the tree into an absolute point of fascination for any visitor. The sound produced by bottles swaying in the wind is another remarkable feature. Each tree creates a subtle symphony, a set of metallic and soft sounds that seem to whisper ancestral stories. Some locals believe these sounds strengthen the protective power of the trees, keeping not only evil spirits away, but also bringing harmony and good energy to the surroundings. Walking through a grove with multiple bottle trees is like passing through a mystical corridor, where each bottle is an ancient voice speaking through glass and light. Furthermore, the environmental impact of these trees should not be underestimated. They serve as shelter for small birds and insects, which find safe places to rest or hide among the branches and spaces between bottles. Some modern gardeners combine tradition with ecological awareness, ensuring that bottle installations do not harm local fauna. In this way, the bottle tree becomes a symbolic and functional ecosystem, uniting spirituality, aesthetics, and ecology in a rare and impressive harmony. The bottle tree is also a powerful metaphor for cultural resilience. Even after centuries, the practice has not been lost, resisting societal changes, urbanization, and globalization. It represents a community's ability to keep its traditions alive, adapting them to new contexts without losing their spiritual and symbolic essence. Each tree is a reminder of the power of human imagination, the need for protection, and the ability to transform simple objects into enduring symbols of faith, memory, and beauty. When observing a bottle tree, what one perceives is not merely a decorated tree, but a convergence point of times, cultures, and meanings. Each hanging blue bottle is a link between past and present, between the visible and invisible worlds, between African tradition and contemporary creativity. It is a living work, moving with the wind, shining in sunlight, and singing with subtle sounds, giving the observer the sense that something greater and older is there, silently guarding and telling stories. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed our content, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Also, check out other interesting videos appearing on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time.